Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers and students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, as usual, my topic is related to principle of management, that is organization. That is second principle of management. Before this, we have discussed the first principle, that is planning. In this chapter, we will discuss characteristics, objectives, factors of organization structure, and types of organization structure. What is an organization? The term organization is a system that defines the framework within which managerial and operational functions are performed in an enterprise. It denotes the pattern of relationship among position and jobs with the object of accomplishment of objective of enterprise. A poor organization structure is essential to ensure smooth flow of communication and better control. This is just a brief micro description about the term organization. Now, what are the characteristics of an organization? Number one, I will write down here. Division of work. Number two, coordination. Number three, plurality of person. Number four, well-defined authority and responsibility. So these are the four characteristics of an organization. First, what is division of work? Division of work is the main essence or crux of an organization. No organization can work without the division of work. Under these characteristics, the work is divided into many parts under different heads, and then they are subdivided in many parts. So, what is the advantage of this division of work? The advantage, the division of work is to get the work accomplished, the task accomplished with the minimum span of time without any wastage and overlapping. It also ensures that a particular person may be engaged in a particular task repeatedly so that he can become an expert in that task, and with the passage of time, the objectives of the enterprise will be achieved smoothly, and enterprise may be able to earn the big bucks. This is the division of work. Then the second point is coordination. Yes, in an organization or an enterprise, there is a line of authority or job specification from top to bottom. Different persons are appointed for different tasks. So they are interlinked together. They must possess the coordination, not alienation. Unless and until there is no coordination, the objectives of the enterprise will not be achieved. So coordination is the second characteristic of an organization. Then third characteristic is plurality of person. As you know, a single person cannot run the organization or an enterprise. So it needs a bulk of persons or a group of persons who forms different tasks, and they perform it in a very decent and smooth way so that common goals set by the enterprises can be achieved. So plurality of person is the third characteristic of an organization. Then fourth and last one of the characteristics of the organization is well-defined authority and responsibility. There is a chain of persons who are engaged from top to bottom. So you will have authority and responsibility work simultaneously, and they work together in order to give the enterprise a boost economy, so that enterprise may not go on wastage or rampage. So authority and responsibility is the fourth characteristics of an organization. So I have defined these four characteristics. We have discussed the four characteristics of an organization. Now we will discuss objectives. What are the objectives of an organization? There are also four objectives in an organization. Number one is effective management of the enterprise. Number one, effective management in an enterprise. This is the first objective of an organization, effective management in an enterprise. Management largely depends upon effective organization. The effective organization ensures proper balance between authority and responsibility. It achieves a clear line of communication and well-defined area of work. It saves the entire organization from overlapping. Once there is an effective organization, there is no shortcoming in an enterprise, etc. Number two point. The first point is effective management in an enterprise. Number two is maximum production in minimum cost. Maximum production in minimum cost. This is the second objective of an organization. By the division of work, an organization of expert person, and by expert, the efficiency of the work increases. Therefore, this would also help in increase of production after checking the elements that mean control on wasteful activities. This is the second objective of this maximum production in minimum cost. Now we have third one. What is third one? Third one is sustained growth and development and diversification. Sustained growth and development and diversification. A business enterprise should be growth one. With the passage of time, it must expand its business, its activities. It should also aim at diversification of product and markets. It is an age of competition and struggle, and everybody wants to gain the market in a large scale area. So the main characteristics, main purpose of this objective is that a business should grow from this small scale to medium scale, and from medium scale to large scale concern. This is the main concern of this objective, the sustained growth and development and diversification. Now, fourth point is coordination of employees. As we have discussed in early, there must be a coordination among the employees. Employees should not be alienated. They should be encouraged off and on. Their healthcare, their immunities, monetary perks should be by and by enhanced with their performance. So if there is no coordination, then there will be havoc, and the objectives, the common goals of the enterprise will not be sustained, etc. So these were the four these objectives of an organization: effective management in an enterprise, maximum production in minimum cost, coordination, and sustained growth and development and diversification. So these were the four objectives of an organization. Now for these factors of organization structure. There are three types of factors of organizational structure. Number one is job design. Number two, departmentalization. Number three, span of control. So what is job design? Job design involves determining the specific tasks and responsibilities to be performed and carried out by the employees. It is a complex process. It enables us to identify employees' skill and competence with the job requirements. For example, if an employee normally assembles parts, the job may be enlarged to include new tasks, assignments such as work, planning, maintenance, control, and etc. Job design has four parts, four types. Number one, job rotation. Number two, number one is job rotation. Number two, job specification. Number three, job enlargement. Number four, job enrichment. So these are the four types of job design: job rotation, job specification, job enlargement, and job enrichment. Second factor of organization structure is departmentalization. As we have discussed earlier, that in an organization or enterprise, different departments are created under different heads, so that there must be a coordination different heads, and the work and goals may be achieved accordingly. Departmentalization are working on different heads from top to bottom, and it has many types. Number one, functional departmentalization. Number one is functional departmentalization. Number two, number two is process departmentalization. Number three, product departmentalization. Number four, geographic. Number five, process departmentalization. Number six, number departmentalization. So these are the six, and one more, that is time departmentalization. These are the seven types of departmentalization. I will repeat again. Number one, functional departmentalization, process departmentalization, product departmentalization, geographic departmentalization, process departmentalization, and time departmentalization. The third factor is span of control. Now, third factor, what is span of control? The area of activity and number of functions, people, or things for which an individual or organization is responsible is called span of control. There are two types of span of control. Number one is narrow span of control. Narrow span of control. And number two is wide span of control. What is narrow span of control? By narrow span of control, we mean single manager or supervisor who oversees few subordinates. This is called a narrow span of control. And what is wide span of control? It is vice versa. A single manager or supervisor who oversees a large group of people or subordinates or workers. So these were the two types of narrow span of control and wide span of control. So we will discuss now types of organization structure. There are two types of organization structure. Functional structure and divisional structure. Two types of organization structure: functional structure and divisional structure. What is functional structure? Functional structure is the most simplest and prevalent form of organizational structure. It is that structure in which different departments are created on the basis of major functions performed in the organization. Each department has coordinating head and can be further divided into separate sections. It creates specialization, coordination, and also ensures effective training extra to the employees. So what is? Now I will show you like this. This is the diagram of this function structure. Managing director, it has three organs. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Three departments says it is headed by managing director and it has three. Number 1 is production department. Marketing department and purchasing department. So it is headed by this, and these three the departments: production management, marketing department, and purchasing department. It is headed by separate heads. Then we have divisional structure. What is divisional structure? Divisional structure, it is that structure of organization in which different departments are created on the basis of major categories of products to be manufactured. For example, we have Reliance, Samsung, Nokia, etc. Each department has a divisional manager and has full authority over it. In each department, functional structure automatically develops. It helps us in the development of skill, accountability, quick decision making, and each in diversification and expansion of enterprise. It also has three departments, this divisional structure. देखो, managing director, देखो, food, footwear, suppose, utensils, footwear, utensils, and plastic. It also it has three: marketing, purchasing, and selling. It has three departments. This footwear: marketing, purchasing, and selling; utensils, marketing, purchasing, and selling; plastic, marketing, purchasing, and selling. So this was the brief. I just quote an example here: footwear, utensils, and plastic. It has marketing, purchasing, selling, marketing, purchasing, selling, and marketing, purchasing, selling. So these were the two structures which I mentioned here: functional structure and divisional structure. So this was end of today's lecture. Inshallah, in the next coming lecture, I will discuss about the formal organization, informal organization, their advantages, etc. Till then, Khuda Hafiz, and thank you so kind to you.